In this video, I'll be talking with a special guest, Dean Graziosi, about YouTube ads and the number one thing you should be focused on when delivering your marketing message. My name is Kyle Sullerud. I'm the founder and CEO of AdLeg, a marketing company that specializes in YouTube ads. Today, I have the pleasure of bringing on a special guest, Dean Graziosi. Now, if you don't know Dean, he's a multiple New York Times best-selling author, entrepreneur, investor. He was part of the biggest launch in internet history with Tony Robbins. And this month, he's partnering with Tony again with plans to impact over 1 million people by exposing them to the self-education industry through the Own Your Future Challenge. For more information on the challenge and to sign up, check the link in the description of this video. All right, let's talk to Dean.
Hey Kyle, how are you, man?
Thanks for being with me today. There's a lot I want to ask you specifically about marketing, because I know you couldn't do all the things you do and reach all the people you reach without amazing marketing behind you. And I've seen some pretty amazing YouTube ads come out of you. So what's your secret? How do you create ads that resonate with so many people?
First off, man, thanks for having me here, and everybody listening. I know you got lots of choices of things to listen to. So if you're going to spend some time with us today, I promise you have my complete and total focus on delivering value today. So here's what trained me for that. And I want everybody to hear this. I got started in direct response marketing before there was YouTube or Facebook or Instagram or social media at all. There wasn't even MySpace. When I started, there was just AOL dial-up that it would take you 2 hours to download a 2-minute video. So just think about that. I started when it was like horse and carriage and carrier pigeon, right? And I had to start with infomercials. But if I look back on my history, what's allowed me to do well on YouTube and social media is because of that time of being on infomercials. Because I want you to think about it. Is there anybody listening right now that loves watching an infomercial? Some of you barely know what it is. If you're under 30 years old, you barely know what an infomercial is because you don't watch TV, right? You watch YouTube or just the programs that you want, or Netflix, right? So I want you to think through that lens of an infomercial where someone is busy, they're watching TV, or they're making dinner, they got a child crying, or their wife wants something, their husband wants something, and I have to produce a video that they don't want to watch in the first place and make it so compelling that they stop and sit on the couch and go, all right, I'm going to watch this guy for a moment. That practice of being on an infomercial for 20 years, when I finally came over to social, that practice of marketing, what I call marketing stamina, led very well to online marketing and social media, because I realized a few things. And you may have heard this before, but I want you to hear it through a different lens. Is you are competing with a gazillion people out there. There is a sea of red shirts. Everybody's got a red shirt. I'm just using that as an analogy. As you're going through your phone, but how do you become the only person with a black shirt? How do you stick out? Why does someone listen to your ad? Why does someone watch your video? I watch so many on YouTube because my kids are always on YouTube and I'm on YouTube, and I watch them pop up and I see it. I'm like, man, seems like a good dude or seems like a great lady. But they're missing the whole point. No one's watching. There's no way no one's watching this video because you have to figure that you have a moment of someone's time to catch their interest. And if you're not obsessing, I mean, I can go into a lot of different parts here, Kyle, but I'll go into this one. If you're not obsessing on the first 3 sentences, like obsessing on the first 1, 2, 3 sentences, then you're missing the point. You know, I watch great people with great products start, hi, it's Bob Smith. And I want to let you know, I've been in this business. You're already gone. I'm glad you're Bob Smith. I'm glad you've been in the business. No one cares. People are in too much of a hurry, right? I know even dear friends of mine that have been in this business. I have to say, hey man, the world's getting faster and quicker. In that moment, you need to enter, and I want you to write this down. You need to enter the conversation already going on in the mind of your future client. You need to enter that conversation in moments. You have to finish their sentences. You have to write this down too. You have to allow them to feel understood in a moment, right? And when I look through that, I obsess completely. Now, I want to tell you, Tony and I feel blessed. 2 years ago, we did the biggest internet launch in history, and we had some great ads on YouTube and Facebook and everywhere, Instagram, crushing it to put 500,000 people in that one. But I want to tell you, my ads, I obsess on the hook, that first moment, and call it a stop sign, right? Whatever you want to call it. But I also did the same thing when people came to the live training webinar that Tony and I did, right? Now, I want to tell you, Tony's been in this for 40 years. There's nobody on the planet with a bigger heart or more depth of knowledge than that guy. That's just the truth. Guy changed my life 25 years ago. So I knew we would deliver massive value. I know we created a product and service that was unlike anything out there. But the way I obsess, again, I just want to tell you this, I didn't rely on, I have 25 years, Tony has 42 years, 44 years, we got 60 something years between us. I didn't rely on that. I thought to myself, wow, we could have potentially 500,000 people watching this. I need those first couple sentences of that live training to make people go, okay, I'm staying. I'm going to watch this. Right? That's the reason I'm emphasizing this, is because that's how obsessed I am. After all these years, I still obsess on that moment. What is that? Okay, I'm sticking around. Right? So you have the time to tell your story, the time to tell your transformation, the time to share your epiphany, the time to share success stories, the time to give a call to action. You don't get any of that unless you get people to perk up and go, okay, I'm going to listen to this dude, or I'm going to listen to this awesome lady. Right?
Yeah, I love it. So let's drill down on that a little bit, with the hook being the most important thing. How do you approach that? How do you know what to use for a hook?
Great. I love that. Great question. So let me tell you what my hook was for the live training I did with Tony, and then I'll drill down. Actually, I'm going to tell you a story. I'm going to tell you a story on how important this is. How you get it, how you find what the hook is understanding your ideal client more than your competition. And what does that mean to understand your ideal client? If you're selling how to be a better coach, what do better coaches dream about? What do coaches what do people that think about being a coach, what do they fear the most? What are they afraid of? What are their friends telling them? What do they look at when they Google? What are their insecurities? Do they feel like an imposter? Do they feel that they're not good enough? Do they feel they don't have the depth of knowledge? Do they feel like they're an introvert? But what are their goals? They'd love to be able to inspire and impact people's lives and get paid from working from home. They want more freedom. They want to be able to travel the world and still coach from their laptop. If you don't truly understand your ideal client's fears, goals, dreams, and desires, then you're doing them a disservice, because you're talking at them. You want them to understand you when truly they need to be understood. So let me give you a little story that I think will really anchor this in. I had been doing infomercials for 20 years. And Larry King was someone who inspired me on how I did my infomercials about 15, 12 years ago. I switched to that Larry King model, sitting down. I built a Larry King set. And I was the first person to ever sell a book, I believe, through an infomercial direct to consumer. And it was a massive hit. So Larry King was cool in my book because he gave me the idea. But then about 7 years ago, 6 years ago, I had the opportunity. He's gone now, but I'm glad I got to be friends with him. I had the opportunity to sit and have dinner with Larry King, and I asked him to do another infomercial. And it was amazing. Like, I get to sit with this dude who's interviewed every president. I mean, he's interviewed everybody since like Jesus. I mean, he's been around forever, right? An amazing guy. And I got all prepared. And what I did to prepare before my interview with him is I watched so many of the interviews he did with Ronald Reagan, with Bill Clinton, with Madonna, with Prince, with Lady Gaga, like everybody you could imagine. And I got this first sentence that he did for every interview. He said, "Tonight, I'm Larry King. I'm here with Madonna, and she's done XYZ, and we're going to talk about XYZ." So I threw my whole theory of a hook to stop people out the window, because I wanted to model what Larry King had been doing for 30, 40, 50 years, right? And I was so like, oh my God, this guy's great. I can't believe he's going to interview me. I was actually even a little nervous. So we sit down, we do this amazing infomercial. He starts, "Tonight, I'm Larry King. I'm here with Dean Graziosi. He's a multiple New York Times bestselling author. He's a businessman. He's this, he's that. And tonight we're here to talk about his new book, Millionaire Success Habits," and da-da-da-da. So we get done with the show, and we test it, and it bombs, and it doesn't work. And we tweak it, doesn't work. Tweak it, doesn't work. I'm like, damn, I thought this was the best one I'd ever done. Here's what I want to share with you. The story was great, The body of the infomercial was great. The call to action, solid. Why is this not working? And it hit me like a ton of bricks. I'm like, duh, I didn't obsess on the hook. No one cares about Dean Graziosi. No one cares that I'm a multiple New York Times bestselling author. People want to know what's in it for me. Are you living inside my head? Can you help me? So I want to tell you, we took this infomercial that was a bomb, and I asked Larry to come back to Arizona from California. He flew in, and we sat down and we re-recorded the opening. 3 sentences, Kyle. And we went from tonight on Larry King, I'm here with Dean Graziosi. He's this, he's that. You're going to learn this. And we change it to this. The camera opens and Larry King is just looking at the camera and he says, have you ever in your adult life looked in the mirror and thought to yourself, wow, I thought I'd be further ahead by now. If you have, you're not alone. And today, I'm here with Dean Graziosi, and he's going to share the one thing that can help you achieve your full potential. We switched that sentence. As I said that, I'm asking you as you're watching or listening right now, have you ever in your adult life looked in the mirror and thought to yourself, oh, I thought I'd be further ahead? Of course you have. We all have. I went from talking at them, talking about me, to entering conversations in their head, to answering questions they have, to allowing them to feel understood. Those 2 sentences made that show a blockbuster. Now here's the stuff you got to realize. The rest of the show didn't change. The call to action didn't change. The cover of the book didn't change. The price of the book didn't change. Where we ran the media didn't change. Nothing changed except 3 sentences from failure to winner. And that's the kind of power a hook has. And let me take that all the way back. I shared the story about Tony Robbins and I. Even though it was Tony and me, and we know this, and we had the greatest product, the greatest value we wanted to deliver to the world, I still geeked out on the opening sentence for weeks. And what it was, I don't know if you were there, Kyle, if you remember, but the opening sentence of that, the hook there was, at the end of your life, if you had a choice between 2 things, massive amounts of success or making a massive impact on the world, what would you choose? Well, why choose when you have the opportunity to do both? And today, that's exactly what we're going to be talking about. We all want to impact the world, and we all want more success, more revenue, more profits. Give it all away if you want, right? So we leaned into the conversation people were already having. It wasn't like, hey, it's Tony and Dean. We're the best. We've been doing this forever. We're the goats of this industry. Come on, you want to listen to us. But unfortunately, that's how sometimes people start. Now, I know I rambled for a long time there, Kyle, so feel free to break it down in any way you want.
No, that was brilliant. And so I know we only have a few minutes left. You need to get going. Let's just talk briefly about the Own Your Future Challenge. What's the hook here? How can you hook people into this to make sure they do not miss it?
Yeah, so you ready for this one?
Let's hear it.
In today's shifting world, if you don't own your future, someone else is gonna. How did that make you feel, Kyle? Like, it takes my breath away when I say it, but it's true. Listen, Tony and I got together, and I got a few minutes here because this is really important.
Okay.
Tony and I got together in January. He's my dear friend and partner. And we know the world needs to shift their mindset. The world has completely changed and it may never go back to the way it was. So in January, we did a challenge called the New World, New You. Because if it's a new world, you got to be a new you. And that was about the psychology, about shifting your state, your thoughts. And it was unbelievable. 837,000 people attended. Think about that. Like if you see pictures of Woodstock back in the 60s, it's a sea of people. It's 500,000. We had 837,000. That was about your mindset and your psychology. Now we got together, and May 11th, write this in your calendar. And I'm sure you have a URL they can go to, Kyle. You could share with them in a moment. Yep. But on May 11th, we are doing the Own Your Future Challenge. It is 5 days, and we are going to talk about owning your own economy, right? We're talking about owning your own psychology in January. May 11th, it's like, how do you anchor in an economic future that makes sense in this shifting world? We're going to talk about psychology, but we're also going to pull the curtain back on how to enter an industry that's exponentially growing with an asset that you already have, doing it from home. And when you go to the URL that Kyle's going to share with you, when you see the guests that we have, 13 of our friends are joining us. It is going to absolutely be it's beyond a challenge. It's beyond an event. It is going to be historic. And you'll have FOMO if you don't attend. And here's the cool part. It's not kind of free. It's totally free. So when we're done here today, go to the URL Kyle gives you, register for this, then put it in your phone. Like it's happening. It's happening for free, but then it goes away. So you're not going to want to miss this. In fact, it's so important. You need to get friends and family to do it with you, especially an accountability partner, because they'll be mad at you if you don't tell them about it anyway.
Amazing. Yep, I'll be there for sure. The link for anyone who wants to go sign up, adleg.com/Dean. And you can go partake in that challenge, and we'll share it together with 1 million other people. It's going to be amazing.
Kyle, I appreciate your time today, and everybody listening, do me a favor. If you have to listen to what I shared today again, do it. This isn't something I made up. It's not something I just shared with Kyle because it came to the top of my mind. This is my life. I'm in a place in my life where impacting others is my most and top priority. But if I don't get them to attend, if I don't get you to attend, if I don't sell them, I can't change their life. If they just are lurkers from the outside because my marketing didn't work, then I'm failing people. Feel that passionate about creating your ads. Feel that passionate about changing people's lives, and people will feel it. It comes through your soul. The world needs role models and leaders now more than ever. So I appreciate your time today. Go to the link Kyle shared, register for this challenge, and show up with your journal ready to play full out. And we'll see you on May 11th.
All right. Thanks a lot, Dean. I will talk to you later. Wow. Lots of great stuff there. Please leave a comment below. Let me know what you learned, what your takeaways were. I would love to hear them. And of course, go sign up now for the Own Your Future Challenge. I'll put a link in the description. Thanks for watching today's video. Again, my name is Kyle Sullerud, and I'll see you in the next video.